Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to make metal balls from different types of wire in the same exact size every time, using mostly one of these. This is basically a tube cutter jig or a wire cutter jig. And you basically put the wire in here, and you can set this point to move as far as you want it. And every time you cut it, it'll make the same length of wire. And then once you have the lengths of wire that you need, you can then melt them down and they'll end up being the same size ball every time. So, this particular one has a measurement up to 30 millimeters on it. So I'm going to set a 10 millimeter cut size and then lock the back. And I'm just going to take a piece of 16 gauge copper wire and put it into the jig. And then I found it easiest to cut this by putting it up against your bench pin. And then taking a jeweler saw and cutting through this little gap right here. See, when you cut things on this, they can fall out really easily and you can drop them on the ground, so be very careful with that if you don't want to lose your stuff. So I'm going to set a couple different sizes, so I'm going to do it 5 millimeter with some silver. The silver is not 16 gauge like the other wires. This is a wire that I actually made, so I'll have to measure it to figure out exactly its size. And then I'm going to do some brass wire at 10 millimeter. So once you have all the wire cut to the sizes you want, we need to move them onto a charcoal block, and then we get to use a torch and some flux. And I'll show you that next. So when doing this, make sure that they're kind of far apart from one another, so when you're heating one, it doesn't melt the other one and they don't join together. And I like to put a little bit of flux on them to make sure that they form two balls on here. And I'm going to be using a Smith's little torch. And make sure when you're doing this to wear some eye protection and probably something that actually is tinted, because these get kind of bright. So I like to heat from one end and just watch it ball up, and as soon as it turns to a ball, remove the heat. And then as soon as you see it just basically change color like that, put it into some water and quench it. The silver will be the same exact way. If you grab them too soon, you will actually squish them. So brass can explode if you heat it for too long once it's turned to a ball. So you want to be pretty quick with it. And make sure you have good ventilation when doing this. So doing more than one of these at a time, you can run into them getting stuck to the charcoal block. So now if I go back to this one, it's going to be completely stuck. All you have to do is heat it up again, and it comes right off. So one other interesting thing you can do with this technique is make balls and ends of wire. All you really need to do is heat the end of it until it balls up, like that. And make sure to cool it down before touching it. So you'll end up with something like that, and these can be used for closing two pieces together, where you just take a piece of wire and put it through and ball up either end, and then you could basically make a hinge using this. Or you can use it as decorative pieces at the end of wire. When doing this, you will have to pickle all of this to clean it all off and make it so you can actually solder them to things and make them look good, because like this one is silver and it just looks black. Same thing with this one, it's copper and has a bunch of black on it, and we need to clean them off. So we need to put these in pickling solution for a little bit to get them completely clean. So here they are after being cleaned up a little bit and after coming out of the pickling solution. I used a wire brush on them to make sure that they're a little shiny now, and so you can see them a little bit better and tell which one is which. So you can use these to make little details like this and this on pendants, or even rings, or anything really that you want to add little ball details to. Or you use it to make the ends of your piece have those on them, so they'll stay in your hair better with hair pieces. So I hope you found this helpful, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. If you'd like to see some videos that I actually use this to put together full pieces, they should be on the screen now. And if you want to be updated whenever I put out new videos, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I try to put out stuff every week. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.